Ever wondered why you can't stop thinking about that one toxic person? It's not love. It's a psychological trap. Today, we're ranking the 7 dark habits that create instant obsession, and rank number 1 is so effective, it's actually banned in some therapy circles. By the time we reach the end of this countdown, you'll not only understand why these tricks work on the human brain, but you'll also learn the specific counter strategy for our top-ranked habit, so you never fall victim to it again. We often like to think that our feelings are under our control, but the truth is, our brains are wired with backdoors that can be hacked. When someone uses these dark psychology habits, they aren't appealing to your logic. They are talking directly to your nervous system. Let's start our countdown with a technique that seems innocent enough on the surface, but builds a foundation of deep, subconscious trust. Rank number 7, the mirroring trap. Have you ever met someone and felt like you've known them for years, even though it's only been 10 minutes? That's usually the result of mirroring, a technique where a person subtly mimics your body language, speech patterns, and even your energy levels. When someone mirrors you, your brain registers them as safe and part of the tribe. It's an evolutionary shortcut. We trust people who are like us. In a dark context, a person will purposefully adopt your slang, your posture, and your core values just to lower your defenses. They become a reflection of everything you like about yourself, making it nearly impossible for you to dislike them. It creates an artificial sense of soulmate energy that is entirely manufactured. Rank number 6, selective vulnerability. This is the secret bond technique. Usually, trust is built over months or years, but this habit skips the line by sharing a deep or dark secret early on. The person might tell you about a childhood trauma or a personal failure that they haven't told anyone else. This triggers a psychological phenomenon called reciprocity. When someone gives you something valuable, like a deep secret, your brain feels an intense pressure to give something back. You find yourself opening up in ways you didn't intend, creating an intense, accelerated bond. But here's the dark part. That vulnerability is often curated or even fabricated. It's a hook designed to make you feel like you are the only person who truly understands them. Once you feel like their protector or confidant, you are emotionally invested in their well-being, often at the expense of your own. Rank number 5, the Zeigarnik Effect. Have you ever noticed how a cliffhanger at the end of a TV episode makes you feel physically restless? That's the Zeigarnik Effect, the psychological drive to finish what has been started. People who use this to create obsession will intentionally leave open loops in your interactions. They might send a text saying, "I have something really important to tell you later," and then disappear for 6 hours. Or they might leave a conversation right when it's reaching a peak of emotional intensity. Your brain cannot handle the lack of closure. It will replay the interaction over and over, trying to find the end of the loop. While they are out living their life, you are spending hours of mental energy thinking about them. In their absence, they are taking up more real estate in your mind than if they were actually standing in front of you. Rank number 4, scarcity and the pedestal. This habit plays on the basic economic principle of supply and demand. When something is rare, we perceive it as more valuable. A person using this habit will position themselves as a high-value prize that is constantly just out of reach. They are always busy, always moving, and always surrounded by other people. They make you feel like your time with them is a limited resource that you have to earn. By keeping you in a state of perpetual pursuit, they force you to place them on a pedestal. The more effort you put into getting their attention, the more your brain justifies that they must be worth it. After all, why would you be working this hard if they weren't special? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of obsession. Rank number 3, the hot and cold cycle. Now we are entering the territory of true emotional volatility. The hot and cold cycle is designed to keep your nervous system in a state of constant flux. One day, they are the most attentive, loving, and present person you've ever met. This is the hot phase. Then, for no apparent reason, they become distant, cold, or irritable. The cold phase. This creates a massive spike in your cortisol levels, the stress hormone. When they finally turn hot again, your brain releases a massive flood of dopamine to relieve that stress. You become addicted to the relief of their return. This cycle wears down your logic and makes you emotionally dependent on their validation. You start walking on eggshells, constantly analyzing their mood, trying to figure out how to get the hot version back. Rank number 2, intermittent reinforcement. This is the exact same psychological mechanism that makes gambling so addictive. In a lab setting, if a rat pushes a lever and gets a treat every single time, it will eventually stop when it's full. But if the rat pushes the lever and the treat comes out at random, unpredictable intervals, the rat will push that lever until it collapses from exhaustion. In relationships, this means giving you affection, praise, or attention unpredictably. If you knew you'd get a text every morning, it would become routine and boring. But if you only get that "I miss you" text once every few weeks at 2 a.m., it feels like winning the lottery. Your brain stays on all the time, waiting for the next hit of dopamine. You become obsessed with the possibility of the reward rather than the reality of the person. It's the most powerful way to keep someone hooked on a situation that isn't even good for them. Rank number 1, trauma bonding. We have reached the most dangerous habit on our list. Trauma bonding is the ultimate psychological trap because it combines intense pain with intense rescue. This happens when a person cycles through periods of being your abuser, emotionally or psychologically, and then immediately becomes your rescuer. They create a problem or an emotional wound, and then they are the only ones there to comfort you. This creates a biological bond that is stronger than almost any other human connection. During the pain phase, your body is flooded with stress hormones. During the rescue phase, your body is flooded with oxytocin and bonding chemicals. Your brain begins to associate this person with survival itself. This is why people stay in toxic situations for years. They feel like they physically cannot breathe without the person who is hurting them. It is a banned concept in many clinical circles because it's so difficult to break, but it is breakable. If you find yourself in this cycle, the counter strategy is called externalizing the loop. You must stop looking at the person's words and start looking only at the pattern. When you are in the rescue phase, write down exactly how they treated you during the pain phase. When the dopamine hit comes, read those notes. You have to manually remind your brain that the solution is actually the source of the problem. By observing the cycle from the outside, you strip away its power. You realize that you aren't obsessed with a person, you are trapped in a biological feedback loop. Once you see the gears of the machine stops working. Real connection doesn't require these games. Healthy love is predictable, it is safe, and it doesn't leave you feeling like you're losing your mind. If someone is using these 7 habits on you, they aren't trying to love you, they are trying to own you. Now that you know how the game is played, you are no longer a player. You are the one who walks away.